my name's Hannah, and today I want to talk about college rejections and why actually getting rejected from your dream school could end up being an awesome thing. I know, because I was rejected from my dream school. I had a UCLA sign on my wall. I saw it every day. I was manifesting it. It was on my vision board. I even took a class at UCLA Extension, even though it was like super expensive, so I could be on campus. And I had sat down with my counselor a bunch of different times, and he was like, I would be shocked if you didn't get into UCLA. Definitely you're gonna get into UCLA. Which is really nice that he said that, but also looking back, I'm not sure if that's the best thing that you can hear, because there's always the possibility that you're not going to get accepted. There's a lot of people that apply to these schools, and it's really competitive. So you can have really great grades and a really great application and still not be accepted. But him telling me that definitely made me more confident when I was submitting my application, because my counselor, who's supposed to know about all this stuff, was saying, yeah, I'd be shocked if you didn't get in. So I was feeling pretty good when I applied. I didn't really talk to him about any other schools. I just said UCLA is my number one goal. That's where I want to go, and so what do I need to do to get into UCLA? Because I was very goal-oriented only towards UCLA. That was the dream. You see schools, it's all one application. You just choose at the end which schools you want to go to. So UCLA, click that. And then I was thinking, okay, I need to make sure that I have a couple safety schools, because it's always possible that I might not get in. And then the other schools I chose because of their proximity to Los Angeles. I lived in Los Angeles for 10 years, and I didn't want to have to move too far away. So I thought, okay, Irvine and Riverside are not that far from LA. Click, click. They're also awesome schools. Any school in the UC system is going to be a really good school. Something inside me just said, 3 schools isn't enough to apply to. I don't know if there's like a correct number of schools that you should apply to. If I was a counselor telling people, I would say apply to a bunch of schools, because like it can't hurt. I've put all this work into my application and taking these classes. Maybe I should just apply to one more school. I felt like I needed to like even it out. I felt confident that I could get into Riverside and Irvine. I felt confident but nervous about UCLA. And then I just thought, you know what, maybe I should apply to one reach school. So I knew Berkeley had this really amazing reputation, very similar to UCLA in their rankings. So I thought, you know what, I'll just click Berkeley. That'll give me 4 schools. I probably won't get into Berkeley, but I'll feel better about applying to 4 schools instead of 3. Kind of random, but that was my thought process. I just thought Berkeley was a tiny bit harder to get into. It's a controversial topic to say UCLA or Berkeley, which one's ranked number 1. They're both ranked number 1 in various different things. And I think that they're both amazing schools. I think part of the reason why I felt more confident about getting into UCLA than Berkeley was because the entire 2.5 years at community college, I had been imagining myself at UCLA. I had taken a class on campus at UCLA. I had talked to my counselor about UCLA. I had never talked about Berkeley with anybody. It was really not my goal. My goal was UCLA. And then at the last second, I decided to click Berkeley, thank goodness. But I didn't know that at the time. After I put my applications in, I honestly felt a lot better, because it was just out of my hands. Whatever was gonna happen was gonna happen. The first school I heard back from was UC Riverside, and I was super, super excited to get in. I knew for sure that I had a UC school no matter what. So that really made me feel a lot better about everything. I said, okay, great. I'm good. Like, no matter what happens, I'm gonna be happy from here on out. I heard from UC Irvine, and I got into Irvine, and I thought, okay, awesome. And then I heard back from UC Berkeley, and I got into Berkeley. And I was so happy, and part of that happiness was I was thinking, okay, if I could get into Berkeley, then I'm definitely going to get into UCLA. My major at Berkeley was way more competitive than my major at UCLA, so it just made sense that if I could get in where it was harder, I would be able to get into UCLA. But I was still thinking about UCLA. So then I got the decision from UCLA, and I got waitlisted. And I was just confused by this. And I hadn't even really considered the possibility of being waitlisted. I thought I would either be accepted or rejected. When you get waitlisted, first you have to accept if you want to be on the waitlist or not, because maybe you don't care, you got accepted somewhere else that you like and you're happy. So if you do want to go to that school, you have to opt into the waitlist. And when you opt into the waitlist, they give you the opportunity where you can write another essay, basically just to support your application and say that, yeah, you still want to go there, and that if you do get accepted there, that you will choose that school, because they really want to accept people that are for sure going to go there, because that gives them a higher yield rate. So I opted into the waitlist, and I wrote the essay, and then I had to wait again, which was so frustrating, because I just was ready for this whole thing to be over. I'd sent my applications in like October, now we're in April. In a way, getting waitlisted felt worse than being rejected, because it kept everything up in the air. If I was gonna go to Berkeley, I really needed to make that decision, because I had to move. Like, I really couldn't wait to hear back from the waitlist, which was frustrating, because UCLA was my dream, and it was like, oh, we're not rejecting you, but we're not accepting you, so you can't really plan on being accepted here, so you can't plan to go to school here. But it's hard to plan to go to school somewhere else, even if you're excited about that, because in the back of my mind I was thinking like, well, but maybe UCLA will still accept me. It was a very confusing time. So I took a little road trip up to Northern California and I visited the Berkeley campus for the first time. And I just wanted to walk around and check out the area and see if I could imagine myself here, because for years I had been imagining myself at UCLA and I just needed to see how this felt. I went with a very open heart and open mind and felt like, yeah, this is right. Not only did Berkeley accept me, they also offered me a very generous financial aid package. I was thinking, this place is offering me so much. And UCLA was saying, maybe we're gonna say yes in a month, but maybe we're not. And then even with that, I don't know what financial aid package they're gonna offer me. Maybe they're not gonna offer me anything. Honestly, it almost felt like I was in a relationship with both of these schools in a way. Like there were two men in my life and they were offering me very different things. Berkeley was this wonderful man that was down on one knee. He had already bought the ring, he was proposing, he was offering me this beautiful life together, but I just met him. And then UCLA was this guy I had had a crush on for years, and finally was like, kind of like you, but I'm not ready to commit right now, and I don't know, maybe in the future I'll be ready to commit, but I don't know for sure. And I was just like, ugh. I didn't know what to do because I would really need to make the decision and I didn't know what they were going to offer me. I don't know if they were going to offer me any financial aid. And then I went to Berkeley and Berkeley was amazing. It was weird because for so long my dream was UCLA. I had to kind of go through, okay, like that's not going to happen. I was so lucky to have this other amazing thing offered to me, but it wasn't the amazing thing I had been imagining for 2.5 years. And I needed to take some time to kind of just mourn that and say, okay, this was the dream that I wanted and I don't think it's going to happen. I need to take a little bit of time for myself to kind of wrap my mind around what was going on and just realize that what had been my dream for a long time and what was so amazing, because UCLA motivated me so much, and UCLA is the reason that I did so well in school, and UCLA was this awesome thing to strive for, but UCLA wasn't going to be my dream anymore. And when I was on the campus and it was so wonderful, I just realized, like, yeah, this is, my heart belongs to Berkeley. Like, I'm gonna have to say yes to Berkeley. This would be crazy to turn down in the hopes that maybe UCLA will say, yes, we want you, and here's a similar financial aid package. As soon as I SIR'd to Berkeley, I felt really good. I thought, okay, cool, this is done. And whatever UCLA decides, it is what it is. I've made a choice that I feel really good about. If I had gotten into all four schools, I don't know for sure that I would have chosen Berkeley, because basically going to UCLA would be a lot easier of a choice. I already lived in Los Angeles. I had been on the campus. Nothing in my life would have to change. I wouldn't have to move apartments. It would be a really easy choice. But sometimes the easy choice isn't really the best choice. I moved to an entire different part of the state, which I know Northern California and Southern California doesn't seem that far away, but they are so different. It's really a different world up here. It pushed me out of my comfort zone in a way that I don't think I would have experienced if I would have gone to UCLA. I'm reading this book by Gabby Bernstein right now, and she talks about how rejection is protection. When you're being rejected from something, not to look at it as, oh, this is something that I should have that they're not letting me have. More so, it's that's not for you. And for me, I really feel that Berkeley was 1000% the right choice for me. Being rejected from UCLA just made it easier to choose Berkeley. It's just like, okay, this is the path I have to be on, because in my opinion, Berkeley is the best school that accepted me, so I need to choose that school. I was rejected from something that I thought I wanted so much. It was the dream. It was on my wall. It was on my vision board. It was everywhere. And at the end of the day, my dream changed. I chose Berkeley before I heard back from the waitlist about whether I was going to be accepted or rejected, because I felt like I need to make this choice. I was obsessively checking the waitlist up until that point, but once I decided, no, I want to go to Berkeley, that's what I want, I stopped. I let it go. I said, that's not my dream anymore. I need to stop looking at this. I'm going to go where I feel really wanted. And it didn't matter what UCLA said anymore, because I felt like I was going to a school that really wanted me, and I felt really good about it. I moved to Northern California. I got all set up here. I got a new apartment. I started getting settled, and a couple weeks after I moved here, I thought, you know what, let me check that website and see whatever happened there. I went online, I looked at it, and where it had said that I had been waitlisted, it had changed to that I had been rejected, like, we're very sorry, we can't offer you a space. And honestly, I just felt like totally fine. And I was like kind of glad that all the loose ends had been tied up, and I felt really good about my choice to come up here. I just thought that wasn't meant to be. I wasn't supposed to stay in LA. I wasn't supposed to go to UCLA for so long. Like, I thought that's what I was supposed to do, and that was the best thing I could do for myself. I was really able, finally, when I saw like 100% the rejection, I just felt really good, and it was like, okay, cool. The choice that offers me the most growth is to come to Berkeley, to get out of my comfort zone, to move to a new place. And I don't know that I would have chosen Berkeley over UCLA had I been accepted to both. So I'm really thankful that they just didn't choose me, because it took away that option and it made it a lot easier, and it made it feel really good to choose somewhere that I know was choosing me at the same time. And I think that's how you should feel about your school. Like, they feel lucky to have you and you feel lucky to have them. I mean, relationships in general, I guess that's how you should feel. Like, both interested parties should feel really solid. You're not going to get every single thing that you want. You're going to be rejected from things. I think it's important to honor your rejections the same way that you honor where you're accepted, because rejection shows that you are working towards something. And I don't think rejection is something to be embarrassed about. I like to choose to view rejection as a redirection. And I know that in the end of everything, it's going to make sense. And I just trust that that's what's happening, because I've seen that happen in my life, where there's been things that I wanted so much, like not just UCLA, there's been tons of things in my life where I thought, this is what I want, this is what I need. And you feel like it's so important that you get those things. And yeah, it hurt a little bit to find out that UCLA didn't want me when I wanted them so much. Rejection isn't fun, but it hurts, and that hurt doesn't last forever. And then you see, oh, I didn't get that because I was supposed to get this other thing, or that wasn't really the best path for me. And you have to just trust that those rejections are protecting you, and those rejections are redirecting you, and that it's okay if you are currently waiting to hear back from schools, or you find out that you aren't going to get into a school that you really wanted to go to. Please just remember that that rejection does not define you. It does not mean that you are not going to do amazing things. It does not mean that you're not going to get into another incredible school. It's okay to be bummed. And it's okay to feel hurt, because yeah, it sucks. It's not fun to hear that a school that you wanted so much doesn't want you back in the same way. But that rejection has nothing to do with your value. Take some time and be a little bit bummed. That's okay. Like, take that time. Like, there's a lot of emotions involved in this. And I know people might say college decisions aren't the end of the world, and they're not, but they hurt. It's something that you have to just take some time. Please just remember to be gentle with yourself. Be kind to yourself. It might be because what's going to happen for you is even better than what you had planned. Even though I was ultimately rejected from UCLA, having the goal of going to UCLA helped me become a better student. I'm thankful for having that as my goal, even though I was rejected. I hope that by sharing my story of being rejected by UCLA, it can help if you're going through this process right now, and it can remind you that rejection isn't the end of the world. It hurts, I know that, but it also can be a redirection. And it can be something that leads you to different and better things. I would love to hear your thoughts about this topic, or if you're going through this process of college admissions and how you feel. So please, let's connect in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe and like this video. Thank you so much for watching, and good luck on your educational journey.